right, guys. I want to thank everybody for being part of this. You are on a short sale mastermind agent webinar, live webinar right now. This is Mike Linkenauger, the Director of Operations with the Short Sale Specialist Network. And joining me for this agent webinar are our mastermind agents here. We have Joel and Michele McClintock. How are you guys doing today, Joel?
Hi, doing great, Mike. Appreciate you having us on. You bet.
It's always great to work with y'all. You know, we were introduced to Joel and Michele through Harris Real Estate University. Tim Harris introduced us a little bit more than a year ago, or right at a year ago, and they were actually part of the short sale symposium at Sea earlier this year. Guys, go ahead, though. We're going to go ahead and, I guess, allow each of you to introduce yourselves, you know, who you are, what your experience is, and a wild hobby or factoid about yourself that we might like to know. Go ahead and get started when you like, guys.
Well, that last part I'm going to have to think a little bit about, but let me tell you a little bit about our background and our involvement in short sales. I've been in the real estate industry like forever, like 25 years or more. I started out in Canada with a broker's license a bunch of years ago. We moved down here to Florida 20 years ago. But I really sunk my teeth into real estate here in South Florida about 10 years ago, which means I had the opportunity to ride the wave with the boom going up, but was also right there when things dropped off at the top. And we were fortunate to figure out real quick when the shift came that if we didn't get involved with short sales, we were going to be in big trouble. We were also actually really very fortunate at that point in time to cross paths with the gentleman that you mentioned a few minutes ago, and that's Tim Harris, Tim and Julie with the Harris Real Estate University. And so since about, I'm going to say, Michele, it's 07, we connected with them and took their classes and for several years. In fact, still take some of their classes, although now Michelle's also teaching their classes. But they got us in the right direction, and most importantly, made us realize that short sales were more than just something that you need to, to push away and try to avoid. In fact, we went the other way, and we went full tilt from the beginning, and it's worked real well for us. We've probably done within our office, myself, about 300. We've probably closed in 300 of them in the last 4 or 5 years. And Michele actually, in this whole process, has become the real expert because she has been my negotiator from day one, and she is now negotiating with a law firm and title company as well. I'll let her speak to that. Michele, introduce yourself.
Hi, I'm Michele McClintock, and I also work with Joel in office doing our own short sales, and also now do other agents where we get referrals from for other agents, and I've probably done a total of at least 500 to 600 short sales in the past 5 years. So very experienced, I guess, in the field. So and enjoyed actually on the cruise and being a panelist on the previous cruise with Mike. So and sharing our experiences with other agents across the United States. So looking forward to another cruise, hopefully, with you guys.
And Mike, on the note as far as interest in factoid, the only one I got is that my real background is water skiing. That's what I did my whole life, competitive water skier.
I always get a kick out of that. I mean, we'll probably dig it up and go through his picture somewhere throughout this webinar, but Joel's got a hilarious marketing picture that you use on everything. Joel, tell me about the picture real quick. I love it.
Yeah, I do. Thanks, Mike. It was actually just a fun, almost fluke thing about 8, 9 years ago when I was getting back into real estate full tilt here. As I was just talking about, a friend of mine who's also a water skier is a photographer, and I asked him about doing it. So I went out and put on a suit, carried my briefcase, went out, jumped on my slalom ski, and literally did a few laps up and down the lake and got a photo. Well, of course, with computers and all the everything that everybody does with digital photos and stuff, everybody assumes that it's a photo image or a computer-made image, but it's not. It's the real deal.
Yeah, it's actually you on water skis in a suit carrying a briefcase, right? I got such a kick out of that when I saw it for the first time, Joel. Good stuff, good stuff. And as far as the short sale symposium at Sea goes, guys, you are officially the first people to hear about this and what I'm telling you right now. It is going to be April 20th through 25th out of Miami, Florida. it is going to be huge. We've got some great names on here. One of the more known ones is Lee Honish. Many people know Lee Honish. He'll be on the upcoming Short Sale Symposium at C. Cruise Conference. Of course, we have the McClintocks here. Vanessa Liddell, who's a former CDP trainer, she's going to be part of it. Again, we're just putting it together, so details will be released in about 2 to 3 weeks at the most. But go ahead and block off your calendars for that. It's going to be a heck of an event. And I'll tell you what, the last one, I mean, it just got rave reviews. It couldn't have gone more awesome.
Yeah,
I'm sure you guys would agree, yes?
If you don't mind me jumping in there, because I got to tell you, it really was, and I mean it genuinely, sincerely, it was an amazing event for us. We enjoyed it, and we are so excited about getting back with you next April.
Very good. We're glad to have you back. So one of the reasons why I wanted to have the McClintocks on here is, I like to have different agents on here that we interview who are doing different stuff. You guys, Joel, you mentioned you've closed several hundred short sales now over the last few years. Michelle's negotiated a bazillion of them too. That's quite a bunch you guys have under your belt there. Let's talk about, our agents are always wanting to know how to get more business, more listings, more leads. Let's talk about how you guys get some business. One way you mentioned to me is through you guys do door knocking, do some door-to-door stuff. Tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, that's one of the things that I think it's fair to say is probably somewhat unique, even though it's really, really old, very much old school. I honestly don't think there's very many agents that are out knocking on doors these days. I don't know whether society has changed or the industry has changed or what it is. But the thing about door knocking now is that you don't have competition. There are not very many agents that are doing it. And even more important than that, as short sale specialists, our message that we have is extremely important to the people that we are trying to talk to. So what we do is not just arbitrary door knocking. We do very targeted. Michele pulls up list pendants, records from public record, and we actually, I can't look you in the eye and tell you that I'm doing a whole lot of door knocking myself, but I have an agent who's new to the business. I mean, brand new to the business. And he's very comfortable with knocking on the doors because he knows that he has the ability to communicate with somebody that he talks to, and he has a complete, full support program behind him that he knows that he has the right answer for people's problems. And we'll speak to that as we work through the rest of the seminar. So, because whether somebody's new in the business or new to short sales or experienced in short sales, we're so far advanced in the whole phenomenon of short sales that it is now, to me, it's the be-all and end-all. It's the arena to be in. But back to the point about door knocking. So what we're doing is we are literally targeting, knocking on a door, and literally just explaining to the whoever answers the door how we came across their name. That are they aware that they're on this list pendants, that their property has been recorded? So we're being very frank with them, and just telling them that we have the ability to help them. Have they got the information that they need to make good decisions? And the guy who's doing it for us, because he's so new to the business, he's literally only taken a minute or two trying to get into a little bit of warm conversation and make them understand that he is literally just here to offer some help, and then he turns it over to me, and I'll follow up with a call.
Very cool. So, you really hit on a much bigger and very, very important thing is that, one agent can't do it all here. In short sales, you should have a team. If you're really serious about doing some volume, you have to develop a team and learn to delegate responsibilities and ideally to duplicate yourself. If you're, I mean, it's great to actually have control of the situation and be processing them and negotiating them in-house or yourself. We know, nobody, it's hard to find somebody that will treat my clients like I'll treat them and take care of them like I will. But when you partner with, an awesome negotiator like your wife, who's, got tons of experience at that, that's part of building an effective team to help, process things better and go along smoother. So it sounds like you've got somebody who's a new agent here who's going door to door for you, just to, now are they canvassing whole neighborhoods, or are they just going after, homeowners in default? How are you targeting the homeowners?
Yeah, great question. And because we're targeting and we have a specific objective when he goes knocking on doors in certain specific neighborhoods, it just seems like it would be wasteful to drive to a community and only talk to knock on one door. So the primary objective is knock on the door of the address that we pulled up from public record. If he has an opportunity to talk to somebody there, terrific. We have found tremendous conversion rate as far as our ability to talk to the person and follow up and potentially work with them. Beyond that, if nobody answers the door, he carries with him a door hanger that we have got from a printer, and not terribly expensive, but very effective. And if he can't talk to somebody, he'll leave the door hanger on the door, and you can speak to that in a minute, Mike, because I sent you a copy of that. But basically, it's just a catchy, flashy, colorful thing with some basic information saying, hey, we can help. Give us a call. Then, when he's walking away, he'll knock on 4 or 5 doors each side of that door, just so that he has put in a little more of an effort with more of a traditional approach to door knocking. But again, even traditional door knocking, as we think of it, is so much more effective than you might think, because people aren't getting hounded all the time anymore. You'll be pleasantly surprised the response that you get from people. And we're going to talk later about some other ways that we're connecting with people, and so much of what I do is premised on old school. I'm doing a bunch of just phone calls now as well, and I'm just amazed at the response that I'm getting from people, because other people aren't doing it. End of story.
Well, there's an old saying that I really hold firm to, and this is totally true in the industry. It's that activity breeds activity. If you're getting out there doing stuff, you're going to get some business.
Yep.
And my gosh, you go knock on any random stranger's door, and they know a few people who are in need of short sale help all the time, So if you're out there really working aggressively, you're going to find business. I love the idea of having somebody who you've incentivized to go do this for you. Now, would you mind sharing kind of how he's compensated generally, Joel?
Sure. Yeah. We've got, to me it's an ideal arrangement. Some might argue that I pay him too much. Some might argue that I don't pay him enough. It depends how effective he is. But the long and short of it is I pay him nothing unless we get transactions, and I pay him a whole lot, a regular referral fee, if the lead that he generates ends up closing as a transaction. So he can make, several $1,000s just from knocking on the door, or he might knock on a whole bunch of doors and not make, very much money at all. As it happens, he's new to the business in June, I believe it was, and I believe at the moment he's got 4 or 5 transactions in the pipeline.
Very good, very good.
That's not a bad start for a newbie in the business. I think you'd agree.
Yeah, absolutely. Hey, it's a good start. He's getting some good experience about talking real estate and being in front of people. That's invaluable for a new guy, too, in the business. So he's getting a lot out of it as well, a lot of hands-on training and experience. So, again, it's critical. My experience is when you're setting up a team for short sales, obviously you don't want to have, you want to keep your front-end costs down a good bit. One of the best ways to do things, and to also encourage, especially when it comes to negotiators, if you have a negotiator on team, is to give them some kind of front-end, a little bit of money front-end salary, and then mainly a big compensation when based on closings. Obviously they get paid when we close stuff. And I always say if it's a team, then when the team succeeds, you succeed, So it sounds like you've got that with this guy. Let's look at your door hanger here. I've got it up here. You guys can see this. It just has all of his company info here. We can help. It's got Joel's info there. I think he should have used the water skiing picture there. That'd get their attention more, too. Then that's the front side of it. This is a great call to action here because these are great buzzwords. It says, some lenders are now paying you to short sell your home. Contact us for free, confidential, no obligation to see if you qualify. So, a big thing with homeowners is, oh my gosh, I could get some money back. That's a great thing to put on this. Here's the back of it. Just has the simple stoplight. It goes over the differences really quick. It's short and sweet. between foreclosures and short sales. I can help you, it says in the end, call me today. I can help you avoid foreclosure and get a green light on your short sale. Very crafty. We're actually working on a lot of direct mail and marketing pieces for the short sale lead machine program. So guys, probably January, we're going to have a lot of these things that you guys can utilize as part of the short sale lead machine program. Actually, we're working on ways to auto-populate them with your information automatically to where you don't have to even upload your photo. It's automatic. Joel, there's a very big thing that I see that's missing on here. Oh, my goodness. You don't have a link to your short sale lead machine website on here. Oh, you got to get these things remade here.
I won't argue with that, sir, for sure.
Here's it here, Palm Beach, theshortsaleguide.com. Joel short sale lead machine site here, but you got to get them made because those are great sites. Those are really ideal sites for just to drop traffic on you. That's what they're geared towards. Is you get the traffic to them, from doing stuff like this, from direct mail, mailing postcards to homeowners in default, through internet marketing, whatever outreaches you do, and then let the site do the work. And the site will actually convert them into leads through a lot of different ways. You ever get leads off your site, Joel?
Yeah, I'll tell you what, Mike. Our site, our agent machine site, is amazing. In fact, I'm the first to admit, and maybe I fool some people sometimes because I've got some pretty, some sites and stuff out there. But I don't know the first thing about it. I just know that what you guys did is creating a tremendous volume of traffic for us, and I mean literally on a weekly basis. So yeah, I'm excited about it. I'm also excited about the comments that you made before we got on the webinar here, that I can still tweak this and make it even better for sure.
Oh, gosh, yeah, we have a full customization course. He's actually got one of the first sites we made here. I mean, here's a customized one right here. Looks a lot different. You got videos on it. We have customizable videos to add to the sites for you even nowadays. And we've even actually gone, Joel, I don't know if you've seen, we create Facebook fan pages for them now and add it to Google Maps, all that kind of stuff. But anyway, this isn't about us. This is about you guys. So let's talk about some other ways that you guys are getting those phones ringing to where you're closing hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of short sale deals. What are some other methods and ways that are working for you, Joel?
Yeah, on that note, let me turn it over to Michele because I've got 2 or 3 other things that I'd be happy to talk about as well. But Michele is like a lead machine in herself. One of the things that she does better than anybody I know, and certainly far better than me, is she talks to everybody and has always got cards with her. And back to the basics as that sounds, you'd be amazed how much business we get from that. But I'll let Michele talk about some of the things that she does and that we do.
Yeah, what I do at the beginning of the year is I get a box of Joel's cards printed up. I also have mine that say short sale specialist, and I carry those and get them out everywhere. If we go to a restaurant, I put them in with when we're paying the check. If I'm at a hair salon, I leave some. If I'm at a restaurant, I leave some. The most basic thing that every agent needs to realize is you don't want to be a secret agent. You want everybody to know that you are in real estate and you can help them. So whether it's today or tomorrow, if you leave cards behind, someone will call with a real estate question. So
you know what I used to do years ago, guys? This is great. Back in the new construction boom, y'all are in Florida too. Mm-hmm. I was one of the I embraced the whole new construction and buyer rebate deals. My first year in construction, I had a thing to where I would give a 1.5% commission rebate to a buyer on any new construction home. So I started putting signs out in front of new home developments, about to build a home, get 1.5% cash back. Started doing that all over the place. And I even actually, like you said, I made up business cards and little cards that said the exact same thing. About to build a home, get 1.5% cash back with my company logo and phone number on there. And I would even go and put those cards around builder models and put them around the model homes and stuff. As buyers were walking through, they would pick them up and say, I've actually had several that way. And I did, my first year in the business, I did $12.5 million in sales.
That's awesome.
Because I was doing lots of new construction, and obviously I gave a lot of rebates and money back. But for a 26-year-old kid right out of real estate school, that was that worked.
You're repping it, yeah. You put some money in the bank. That's a beautiful thing. So
what I said, activity breeds activity. You got to get your name out there, guys. You got to let people know who you are and what you do. So, and Michele, too, another thing, Michele, I don't know if you mentioned yet, you're still the resident short sale expert at Harris Real Estate University, too, right?
I am. I do their classes, both as a panelist often on specific topics week to week, and also I do Q&A. And what it is it's a live call where I'm answering students' questions or troubleshooting for them with all their, short sale needs. So if they're having problems with IndyMac or, Bank of America, I can troubleshoot for them week to week and available for them. So,
I like that idea. I might have to do something along that line.
Yeah.
If anybody likes that idea too, let me know. We might have to try to do something like that. That's a novel idea. So Harris Real Estate University, you guys don't know, that's, I think, the largest online real estate university there is. Michele's definitely got a name for herself with that as well. So, guys, what are some other ways? What's another main source of lead generation and listings for you guys?
Well, without being too redundant about basics, I did mention that I'm starting to do a bunch of phone calls again, and people may not, want to start thinking, man, a bunch of, cold calls and all the rest. Well, really, most of the calls that I'm doing are not cold calls. They're contacting people from my database, contacting, past clients and that sort of thing, which, it's supposed to be a given in our industry. But again, look in the mirror and ask, am I doing what I should be doing to get the job done? The reality is, and you alluded to this in a comment you made earlier, Mike, the reality is that more than ever, people are thinking real estate. They're thinking real estate in terms of the economy. They're thinking real estate in terms of the market in general. They're thinking as far as the distressed sales and short sales, and especially, certainly, if they are upside down with their property, they're thinking real estate. And if they aren't upside down on their property, as far as, and being candidates for short sale, you know darn well that they know people that are. So my point is that when you make phone calls now, just like when you knock on the door now, it's a different world than it was 5, 6, 7 years ago. People are surprisingly receptive to talk. In fact, my biggest challenge when I'm making calls is not to be on the phone too long so that I can keep working through, a reasonable volume of calls in a morning. So the whole point is, don't be shy about going back to the basics, but with a new, I won't even say a new approach, but a new attitude about, what your objective is. One of the things that we haven't really talked about, but let me back up a bit if you don't mind, Mike, because the reason that I get excited about short sales is because I've been a realtor. I've been licensed as a broker for 25 years. Well, it's only, and I can look anybody in the eye and tell you this genuinely, it is only the last 5 years that I really, truly felt great about being in this industry, in this business. And the reason is that for the first time, we are not perceived just as salespeople. In fact, I'm not sure that we have that image that people think that, are always thought we had. I feel so good when I'm talking with people about our ability to genuinely help them and look at it from the other side. People in general now perceive us as the go-to, the people that they genuinely need. So we are in a whole different world as far as our position when we're prospecting, when we're talking with people, we're networking, and whatever marketing we're doing. It's a beautiful thing.
Well, I have to agree with you, too. I remember back from our cruise there, one speaker, I'm not going to name names, one speaker had said, well, what's your business function? What is your goal in business? And people said, oh, I want to do this, I want to do that. And he said, no, look, your business is profit. You're here to make money. That's a goal of your business. And then we had another speaker come on later and said, yeah, your business goal is profit, but there's a lot of different kinds of profit. And one of the best kinds of profit is knowing that you've helped somebody, that you've actually really helped somebody who's in a tough situation, a tough bind. They need hope. They're in a seemingly hopeless situation many times. And we can be those people that come to them and give them peace of mind and give them hope, for a fresh start. So it's such a blessing to definitely have that real customer service mentality that we're here to serve you and help you. And I'll tell you what, it makes life so much better. If I'm working for money, that's a poor God. I don't serve money. I shouldn't say it like that, but unfortunately we worship the wrong things sometimes. I think if we keep focused on the right things like you are, Joel, and that's actually making a difference, then those other things come into place, you know?
We're really saying, Mike, by coming from a place of contribution, we can feel good about helping, but at the same time, the beauty of it is that same attitude is what enables us to generate a tremendous amount of business in this environment. So, you know, what goes around comes around. It works very well.
That couldn't be, you know, more true. Guys, if you go to somebody's house and you're, you know, to help them buy or sell a property, and your main focus is, oh, I can get a commission, that's going to show. You have to have the mentality of, look, I'm here to serve. I'm here to work. I'm here to help you in whatever way. And if you have a customer service and a true servant's heart and attitude, you're going to be outstanding at what you do. You know, whatever you do, make money your biggest motive and goal. And stuff, and that's just my own, you know, philosophies. But Joel, it sounds like you know, that kind of stuff works. There's that awesome water skiing picture there. I knew we would run across it here somewhere of Joel right there. There's him water skiing with the briefcase. We'll find the larger one in just a minute here. Let's see if we can view the image here. It's just a thumbnail, darn it. But we'll find it. It's around. It's around. We just lost his YouTube channel, which I'll find again in a second. But Joel, let's tell them a little bit about referrals. You know, you mentioned when we were talking earlier that you guys get a decent amount of your businesses from referrals. Is that right?
Yeah, and in fact, it's twofold. We get a very huge, a large percentage. In fact, by far the majority of our business.
Joel, got to catch up. Before you go on, it sounds like you might have your voice maybe playing in the background also, because we just got a really big echo there for a second.
Is that any better? Oh, yeah.
That's better, yeah, just so we don't get any kind of reverb. All right, go ahead. What were you saying?
Can you hear me now? Is it better?
Perfect.
All right, sorry, guy. What were we talking about? Oh, yeah. I mean, we literally have, I would say that probably 90 to 95% of our business is referral business. And the vast majority of that is referrals from past clients. And again, it's sort of somewhat traditional, old school, but the reality is, especially in the short sale world, when you effectively help somebody get through this very, very difficult time in their life, the gratitude, it comes back to you tenfold in referrals. I mean, I am getting, and I'm not all that good at follow-up. I wish I could say I was with my past clients, but I get referrals constantly from people that we did short sales for and other business from 5, 6, 7 years ago. That being said, I think what you were referring to was that we actually get a tremendous amount of, a significant portion of our business referred from other agents. It's amazing to me that despite the fact that we are now, and I couldn't believe it when I thought of it the other day, but we're now 7 years into this short sale phenomenon. It's amazing to me how, you know, there's still a large percentage of the real estate industry of realtors who are still tend to either shy away from, or maybe they should shy away from, because they haven't dug their teeth into it and figured out how to be effective in the short sale arena. So what we have done over the years and continue to do, I think, fairly effectively now, is work with and through other realtors. I mentioned earlier that I have one realtor that knocks on the doors for me, but I have also a lot of realtors who, just because they don't want to deal with short sales, will refer the business to us at some level. And what I mean by at some level is we have different programs. We have programs where it can just be an outright referral, and we'll pay them a 25% referral fee for the lead, just like any other referral would work. And then we also have done often, several times situations where we will co-broke because we have the short sale expertise, if you will, but they're experienced agents and they can do the marketing and that sort of thing. So there's different programs that we do, and I don't know whether you want me to speak, further on that, but we also have actually started doing seminars in our office so that to introduce brand new agents to the short sale arena as a primary objective from day one when they get into business, which I genuinely believe is a great opportunity for new agents.
So that's a great idea. It sounds like you're getting, you're with Keller Williams. Obviously, Keller Williams has a lot of great opportunities for things like that. Sounds like you guys are getting the new agents like right when they're first in the industry, right when they get licensed, and you're doing short sale related seminars with them. Is that right?
Yeah. In fact, the seminars that we do, it was kind of, it just spawned itself, actually. They invited us to do, the office invited us to do, or asked us to do one session, and just to basically introduce short sales to new agents. And so we talked about sort of an overview of what the short sale world was all about. With the primary, with my objective going into it was, in this first session was, I don't want to scare people away from it. As new agents, I want them to understand that this is an opportunity for them. It's an opportunity for them, and the more agents that get in, that are in this business working short sales effectively, the better it is for the industry and for our ability to work through this cycle that we have to get through to get back to a truly normal market. Anyway, having said that, so we did the initial session, had good response, and they asked us to come back. So we did a 4-week series where we kind of talked through and broke down what the short sale business was all about. My main theme through it, our theme, was that don't try to do stuff on your own. You're a new agent. Don't pretend you know something that you don't know. Learn what you need to know to be able to communicate and express to prospective short sale sellers that we can help. We know we have the resources. I know, the people that I'm working with will get you through this process and have good answers to help you make good decisions. That was the thrust of the theme. And the resources are, and we haven't spoken much about it yet, but Michele, as a negotiator, yes, for the last 5 years, about 5 or 6 years, she's been doing my negotiating, but she also works for a third party, which is the short sale innovations here in Palm Beach. But I'm sure they're all over the country, different companies that do negotiating. And I couldn't have had this conversation or made this told the story 2 years ago and looked anybody in the eye and said I had a lot of confidence in outsourcing your negotiating. But now, if you go about it right and find the right one, you can literally pass it off to where, yes, you're going to market the property, but if you need information, even communication directly with your seller or prospective seller, the negotiators, certainly in short sale innovations, and Michele does it all the time, is be more than happy to talk. So the point is, as a new agent or somebody who's relatively new to short sales, you don't have to have all the answers. You just need to know where to get the answers and the information.
Boy, that sure is true, Joel. You said a mouthful there. Absolutely. You guys, you have these seminars with these new agents. Now, when you're going through, I like to give people some good things that they can start and say, hey, I can do this too. Here's all I have to do. So, and I'm thinking back, too. I remember a video, 4 or 5 years ago when realtors didn't know anything about short sales. Most of them didn't. And I saw a video that really scared me, as you had one of these, I call them con artists, but, I'm pretty liberal with that term, but one of these ABC flop transaction preachers went into a real estate office, and he was teaching them about short sales. His goal was to teach them how complex and complicated they are and how they shouldn't be doing them, but they should send them to him instead to, let them pretend to be a buyer on them, but really flop it and sell it to a real buyer. You guys know that whole scheme, which thank God that one's winding down, and they got new ones every time you turn your back. But I actually saw a video of a full presentation on that. So what approach do you take with the agents, and do like a co-listing with them? What's some, and maybe share anything you can suggest to agents who are going to listen to this now or in the future about what they can do to set up these kind of seminars with new agents in the industry, for example.
Yep, by all means. Basically, we provide the opportunity to either be their support, and from that perspective, we're a bit unique in that Michele works for Short Sale Innovations, so if they just need some information, she's available to them. But for an agent who's listening to this call who would like to work, potentially have other agents refer business to them, the real opportunity comes from either they are genuinely just literally referring them to them. In order to accomplish that, whether it's in a seminar scenario or whether it's as you're networking with other agents, by communicating the point that you do a lot of short sales, you have a support team, and you're very effective, and your closing rate is extremely high. Those are the things that agents will get agents' attention, because then if they refer, they know they're going to get paid. And once you can communicate that, then you can express to them that if they don't want to or are not comfortable, confident, or competent, we don't want to necessarily throw that word around, but if they don't feel confident about what they're doing, there is a lot of money to be made in the short sale arena in this business just from on a referral basis. The next level is if some agents who are well established in the industry but are not necessarily well versed in the short sale arena, might be more inclined to work with you on a co-listing basis. So you literally are doing a 50-50 arrangement on the listing where they handle everything with some guidance from you so that you know that they're going to end up with a contract that's approvable, and then you pick it up and take it to your resources for the negotiating and transaction coordination and get the thing closed.
Very good, very good. So it sounds like you got a good system down, and it's working. It's effective. It's good. It's getting by for you, and all of that, and that's critical. So any other suggestions, or Michele, any other last-minute guidance on stuff here? And in just a minute, I want to open it up for questions for Joel or Michele, so you can get those ready. You guys have anything else to share here?
Yeah, I will actually share something that goes on in our area, which I think is really a great idea for agents across the United States. Is we have a thing called Impact 5 with one of the TV stations. And we have attorneys in the morning answering questions, and they show this on TV each morning once a week, or several times a month, for people to call in. And the news station just says, please, we've got attorneys standing by or agents to answer your questions about your real estate needs. Please feel free to call in. We also, with our company, have a thing called a town hall, where we go into different areas around our area and bring in the TV station, realtors, attorneys, CPAs, to answer questions for homeowners that just want to hear some information about real estate. So that's another, opportunity for agents across the United States to go and collectively create a team and go out into the communities and effectively speak to the different areas. And it's very, very, very effective. A lot of our business comes in through this new program that's being done through, it's called Impact 5.
Impact 5? Do you have any information on that, a website, anything we could check out?
It's just one of the local stations. It's Channel 5, and it's just how they impact the different communities and stuff.
Is it a television show that they do, or what exactly?
No, it's just one of them's a town hall, and then it's other different situations where a homeowners come to the TV station about their particular situation, and will help the homeowner get through their situation, or we'll do the town hall where it could be 500 people in the room talking about short sales, a group of panel. And then they also have the TV station, and they may pick out 2 or 3 people that we are going to highlight their situations.
I understand. We've seen a lot of similar stuff to that. That's almost similar to homeowner seminars, or the town hall format is great. And how we've seen a lot of those work effectively around the country is, like you said, to get a variety of different people together who can offer different stuff. So you probably want to have an attorney there. You probably want to have a loan modification specialist there, maybe even a CPA tax person, and of course a short sale agent as well. Just to talk about all of the different options that are available to people there. There's a lot of effective things like that that can be coordinated. I'll tell you what, coordinating one of those that we could probably do an entire webinar on just that. That's a lot to coordinate. But you guys have given us a lot of outstanding stuff here. The door knocking thing and actually canvassing short sale neighborhoods and visiting homeowners in default. That's excellent, guys. Here's Joel's door hanger. Remember, we're looking at having this as part of the short sale lead machine program and all the resources we give you guys already. In January, we should have something similar. All right, guys, before we head back, you also talked about referrals, generating referrals from your past clients, and also new agents in the industry and partnering with them as well. So we've had some great stuff here. Before we leave, I want to leave you guys with one last thing. I was at Joel and Michele's YouTube page here, and it looks like they've done a bit of video marketing, and they make some excellent videos. They're pretty good. And I'm remembering one that they made for the short sale symposium at sea last year. So let's instead of playing theirs, because they already gave you a testimony on here, let's play one from a different agent here, Tamara Nzunza, about her experience. And then we're going to take any questions you guys have. So you can go ahead and type up your questions now as you watch this awesome video testimonial here. Hopefully it plays correctly.
Man, what a trip. Hi there, I'm Tamara Nzunza coming to you from Alexandria, Virginia. I just got back from the Short Sale Symposium at Sea, an educational yet fun-filled cruise where top real estate agents from across the country put our heads together to help homeowners stop foreclosure. If you missed the boat, you missed out on quite a bit. Here's a sneak peek. Learning about industry trends, and most importantly, helping homeowners avoid foreclosure, then I want to see you next year at the Short Sale Symposium at Sea. Don't miss the boat.
There you go, guys. So don't miss the boat. Stay tuned. And look, when we put out details about this, we're going to give people who come on right away, you're going to get the best chance to get the best deals on tickets to everything. You don't want to miss this, guys. We gather together many of the top minds in the industry, and we get together. And I'll tell you what, as somebody who's done bazillions of short sales, I learned more in those few days than in any period that I've ever learned in the industry. I mean, just the wealth of information on there is unparalleled, period. So, all right, guys, let's go ahead and take a question or two. We're going to let all of y'all know again, as soon as we have the information available and we have everything up and running, be ready to sign up for that thing right away. All right, so let's see if we have time for a quick question or two here. I'm going to pull these out of here. I always have problems with the questions here. All right. Oh. 1 second. We have, how do you purchase the program? I assume you're talking about the Short Sale Lead Machine program, possibly. You're going to want to go to www, that's one of Joel's sites there, check this out. You guys can go to members.theshortsaleguide.com. Once you're on here, you're going to see more about Short Sale Lead Machine. You're going to see this tab right here. You can click on there. Short Sale Lead Machine, this takes you to the main page, all the information, what you get. By the way, it's just $1 to try out and get your own short sale website to try out for a month. It's free. All of this stuff is included. We can customize it for you. There's all kinds of stuff. What you might want to do is sign up for one of our live demonstration webinars. We're doing one Tuesday and Wednesday, I believe, of next week also. So definitely check it out. Another thing that you guys do not want to miss, this is huge, okay? If you're on the shortsaleguide.com, that's our free social networking site for agents, you're going to find underneath the blogs here, and you'll probably get an email about it as well, but we have, 2 weeks from today, we have two very, very special guests. Well, Joel and Michele are very, very special too. We have Marie Chung. Marie is the #1 agent in the state of California in sales volume across the board. She's on there in 2 weeks. Also along with her is Vanessa Liddell. Both of those women, by the way, are hopefully going to be on the next Short Sale Symposium, and we're on this last one. But Vanessa is one of the original CDPE trainers. She trained over 7,000 agents in the CDPE designation. So that's 2 weeks away from today. You're going to find, again, if you go to blogs, you'll have to look for Marie Chung and Vanessa Liddell, and scroll way down. Here they are. Vanessa Liddell, Marie Chung. Definitely sign up for this one as well. And the best part is, like we're about to do now, you can ask those guys all of your questions also. So I'm trying to get up show unanswered questions. Let me get this up here for some reason. Okay, here's how I do it. There we go. We got the questions here. Let's look at what all the questions we've got here. All right. I have heard from several people now that in about a year or two, short sales will go away. What is your outlook on this? Guys, what do y'all think about this? Joel and Michele.
Let me say this. I don't know the actual stats. What I do know is there is an absurd volume of upside-down properties across the country, and we're still talking about millions. So if somebody thinks that anything, no matter how smoothly and efficiently and streamlined the banks get, and we didn't talk much about the bank's end of it, and there's no question that the banks have become much more short sale friendly, and they want to move things in that direction, move things quicker. But we all know that quicker is not fast. So the point is, I think it's more like 3 to 5 years minimum that we're going to see tremendous volumes of short sale business. And it's more like 5 to 7 before we see it start to significantly taper. So to me, what that means is, for most of us, 5 years in this business is an eternity. So that means we have 5 years of tremendous opportunity.
I couldn't agree with you more. I mean, there's a couple ways to look at this, but in our market, for example, in Florida, in some price points, we've seen 70% drops or more. That means what used to cost $150,000 now might cost 40 or 50 in some markets. Let's just pretend that prices, instead of the traditional historic 3 to 5% a year like we've seen throughout history, let's just pretend prices start going up 20% a year again. Okay, guys, you can do the math on that. That's still 5 years plus. So here's another stat. While that process is happening, and say prices do go crazy like that for whatever reason again, and they're going up 20% a year or more, if they go up 20% a year, it's going to be 5, 6, 8 years. But they say right now, guys, over 28 million homes are underwater, or if the homeowner, they were in a low equity position to where, if they had to sell, they would have to bring money to closing. 28 million I've seen. So check this out. By my own estimates, you have to figure every year probably 10% of the population goes into a financial hardship. They either lose their job, they go through divorce, or they get relocated or transferred. That's a good percentage. I mean, that's my own estimates, but even if we knock that in half and say only 5% of people go through a hardship a year, you're still talking about 1.5 million homes a year that have to sell every year, that the people are in basically a negative equity position, and couple that with the reality that 75% of those people do not have and will not have the money to bring to closing to cover that deficiency. You're talking about 1 million to 2 million homes or more a year that have to do a short sale for the foreseeable future. So these things are here to stay regardless of where you're at, and really we're not out of this by any means. All right, Latoya Dunn said, can we get a copy of your door hanger? What I'm going to do, Joel, is it okay if I share this door hanger with people?
You're very welcome to.
Yeah, and just to add to that, if anybody's wondering where you can order those, I know that Mike mentioned that he's going to have them set up on his site in January. You can also get that version from printerbees.com.
Yeah. I mean, it's a design that they have that you just customize. So it's easy. It's really easy to get it done.
Oh, very good, very good. I'm looking for something in particular here. And like you guys know, too, we have a neat technology that we use for these reports. These are on your website as well, Joel. And when somebody's on there and they fill out for a free report, it automatically populates them with your logo, your contact information here, and emails homeowners these reports, like how to write a hardship letter, how to do a short sale, things like that. So what we're doing as part of the short sale lead machine program is when you're on your site and you request these door hangers, all you do is click a button, and these are going to, you'll get some kind of door hanger that's automatically populated with your contact info, of course, your short sale lead machine website, and all of that stuff on there as well. Where I'm going to put these in just a minute so you guys know is if you're on theshortsaleguide.com, right, you have to log in. So set up a profile if you haven't already. It's free on here. You should be on here, guys. If you scroll down to the bottom of the home page, here we go. Here's me mentioning this webinar yesterday, but in a few minutes I'm going to post a link here in the chat to this, so where you can get this and save this to door hanger. So it's going to be on here. You guys can just go to theshortsaleguide.com and download it there and check it out as well. Okay, we got time for a couple more questions. Somebody said, by law, are you allowed to call yourself a specialist?
Well, I think the answer to that, because the word that people in general within our industry try to avoid, or I'd like to think they do, is the word expert. Because my understanding is that there is some legal implications or ramifications to call yourself an expert. But I think a specialist is fair game, because I don't think that many people, that anybody would argue that we, for example, specialize in short sales. I mean, that's what we primarily do. It makes up probably 80% of our business. So my answer to that question is yes, I think specialist is a great word.
Yeah, specialist is good. I specialize in short sales. Expert is a term that if you use that and something goes wrong with one of your sales, you better be ready to prove that you're an expert in the court of law. And I'll tell you what, if your idea of proving it is to say you took a weekend training course, buddy, you might have some legal action on your hands. So, that's one thing. That whole use of that word is coming under fire right now. That's why if you have one of those sites that brands you as an expert that doesn't do well in the search engines, you might want to check out these short sale lead machines. I'm just saying they cost half as much and do much more for you. But anyway, enough of Mike's sales pitch there. All right. What percent did he say he offers for referrals? What percentage do you guys give realtors, other realtors, for a referral fee?
On the short sales, 25%.
25% across the board, yeah. And by the way, you talk about building a business based on referrals. The Short Sale Specialist Network is an organization built on referrals, referring to agents around the country.
I have so many friends who have got into the business, and I keep telling people, if I was brand new in the business today, I would be a referring agent. I would be a lead generator and refer business all day long, because you can make good money doing that.
Absolutely. Well, I mean, it's just the last few years. Somebody said in Jersey, William, you said in Jersey you're not permitted to knock on doors. That's interesting. I didn't know that, but you are in most of the places. Also, William said this is not live. Right. No, William, this is live. We're on live. So any questions? Here's another thing, too. Somebody said this, and maybe, I don't know if you guys know this. Yeah, David Haro said, I heard at least 8 years for short sales. I could agree with that. 5 to 8 years is a good number where we're looking at. So, agents like Joel and Michele and myself that have really tailored our business to this current market have thrived in it and are doing well. So if you haven't tailored your business with a short sale website, would be a good idea. You probably want to do that. Okay, let's say this. Is there a special way to get leads from Equator even when you pay for all the zip codes and pay to be certified? 5 months without a lead on Equator. Can you help? Guys, do y'all have experience with Equator and getting certified on there?
You don't have to be certified. I know that Equator doesn't necessarily want me to say that. Actually, Joel and I have just been chosen as part of their Mastermind program. So you don't have to pay. My philosophy on that is don't pay for leads, pay for referrals. No, we have never gotten any leads from Equator. So, use other sources. Don't expect just to get leads from Equator. Source yourself out in many other ways.
We've gotten some assignments off of Equator. You guys haven't been outsourced like direct listings from...
Well, DTS and stuff does direct assignments as far as that, but and that is part of, Bank of America and stuff, but, actual direct assignments, not so much. And to sign up just with one, I wouldn't. I would outsource, get yourself exposing in other ways as opposed to just Equator.
Yeah, I agree too. I haven't really heard any good stuff coming about getting certified and using that as far as that giving them any kind of extra advantage on there.
That would have been my answer.
There are a few other servicers that do outsource some on there. What they're mainly looking for, they're looking at your ratios and, like, are you closing short sales? Are you actively doing a lot of them? And they have access to all that data on the back end. I mean, just like what we do, one of the reasons that we assign a lot of stuff to Joel and Michele or we give them some stuff is because they do a pretty good job with it. We have their area of the country, like, man, nobody will ever get in there. We have the best agents in the country down in Palm Beach County. I'll tell you what. Y'all know short sales down there.
Well, we've had lots of practice.
And going forward, just to speak on Equator, is Equator will also be ranking agents based on performance of closing short sales with the different lenders.
Right. Well, and that's what I was getting into is we rank as well. Like we tried to model a lot of our systems after Equator. We grade agents based on how quickly they respond to things even. We give them an assignment, how quickly they confirm or deny, how quickly they update us, and how success. Those are what I look at first. And then we get into, what percentage are they listing and what percentage are they closing and things like that. But we grade as well. That's big. So, whenever you're doing something, there's some keys when you're working in asset management with REOs. I mean, you want to get close to the list prices of whatever's assigned you, and there's a lot of different stuff you try to look for in REO, but that's a whole other monster, which we're not going to get into today. Again, guys, stay tuned for more from the Short Sale Mastermind Agent webinars starting January. These will be weekly, guys. That's key. So we're going to start doing these every week, and those who are part of the Short Sale Lead Machine program can, in the future, they'll be closed off, but you're going to get permanent access to replays and things like that. So anybody just joining us, you can find out more on members.shortsaleguide.com. Feel free to contact us if you got any questions, anything at all. Guys, Joel, Michele, I want to thank you so much for participating and help us out here. This has been a fantastic webinar here, and hope to have y'all back real soon.
We look forward to it, and thanks so much for having us. And we certainly look forward to seeing you on the ship.
Absolutely. We'll see you on the ship, and the rest of you guys, don't miss the boat of the short sale